Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you're having a good Tuesday, September 13th. CPLIE came out, missed expectations, kind of what we were expecting. I don't know why everyone was so bullish on it, but we're gonna look at that. SPY's big hit today. GME got some of that. Some small caps had little rallies. We got some IPO shares today. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy money sticks around. We're gonna look at options, some TA, and these IPO shares. There's our Twitter. You can follow us on Happy Money YT. And Discord server is in the description. Yeah, so CPLIE missed expectations. Inflation was worse than expected, and this whole rally was basically pricing in the expectation that they had. So even if it met or was close to meeting, maybe even beat a little bit, it's still likely that we would have sold off just as like a solid news type thing. Since the market always overshoots, it's overshooting to the upside, but it didn't even make expectations. It missed. So big warranted sell-off here, and this will probably continue, I would imagine. We had SPY puts I opened up yesterday. Those did pretty well. I think they were like 350%. I closed them early, just stuck with my plan, and that works. Even if your plan isn't good, if you stick with it, you'll do better than people that don't plan. On the daily, we're still bearish on MACD. We did have this big bounce, but I think that was just priced in CPLIE. So I think this will probably continue, especially since the rest of this week is at the beginning of SLD, which is typically when the market kind of sells off. So I'll be getting SPY puts again at close. Hopefully we get a big rally into close so I can get them for cheap. But right now the market's almost down 4%. This is a big move. Big move. We've got PAL next week. You have to just keep an eye on Fed futures to see what they're pricing in. It's 75 basis points, but that might be moving up to 100 basis points now with these new CPLIE numbers. So if that does move up to 100 basis points, we could see some new lows coming. Maybe not before PAL, but definitely some breaking this low, I would imagine. Yeah, this is a lot of volume too. So it's a move with conviction, as you could see. With all that volume that first hour, that's just, this isn't a fluff move. This is a lot of move with a lot of volume. So yeah, probably keep coming down. Just looking for bounces to short. GME big gap down with SPY. That data came out before open, so big gap down on that. Kind of setting up a little head and shoulders type deal here on the hourly. Did cross bearish on the MACD, and on our red we have red under the 9 moving average on the hourly there. So probably chop and probably come down into Friday with the market. Volume is decreasing from volume that was already pretty low. And our max pain's actually, let's see, yeah, it was at 30 at open, which is kind of high. That'll probably come down tomorrow. And then where was it? Oh yeah, the borrow fee, let's see, was it 10.1? Yeah, it went back up a tiny bit, 10.1. Kind of finding a floor, it looks like, right around that 10 range, which is good. This whole move here might be a trough before a new low. We will see. If we're in kind of this range right here, maybe like one of these days, or if we are coming into one of these, or one of these. Yeah. So kind of depends on, I don't know what it depends on, but we'll just keep an eye on the TA. Bearish MACD, and it's been more or less moving with the SPY, as you can see these last 2 weeks or so. Balance with the SPY, pricing in CPLIE, and now coming down. Holding up better today though. I think on these kind of scared market days, sometimes the small caps rally a bit, since a lot of stuff is just coming down and they can move pretty easily. So not doing too bad. Here's our trade. So the SPY, I used to not be able to look back at trades, and sometimes I don't, but oftentimes I'm fine too. If you have a problem with FOMO or that sort of thing, it's not good to look back and try and look at your trades that you missed out on. Hindsight trading is impossible, so it doesn't really matter. But for your guys' sake, I will show you this trade. The SPY put I opened up yesterday at close. It expired tomorrow, so I could have held it longer. I'm just doing kind of overnight trades. Being that it expired tomorrow, it probably would have been smart to hold longer, but whatever. Yeah, I opened up yesterday for like 3 something. I think like $300. It's for tomorrow, and there's a 409 put. So we're at 394 now. I closed it this morning at 784. Basically close to open, like within the first couple minutes I just closed it. And now that one's worth 1400. So it would have been a 300 to 1400 play. It was a 300 to 784 play. So overnight, the overnight trades on SPY are working pretty well. I've lost maybe 2 out of the 6 I've done, 2 out of the 7. But those I can cut losses pretty quick. One of them I just ran all the way to the ground because it was already down so much. Let's see. GME, I actually did some cover calls in GME today. Not a good day to do it, and I knew it, but I just went for it anyways. I sold cover calls like all in here. Rallied up, they were down like 50%. And then by here, they were barely profitable. And I saw it's coming up to VWAP. We had a bullish MACD. We had green over the 9. We could have rejected VWAP there and come down, but it was already pretty strong. So as I said, it's a bad day for cover calls since we had such a big gap down, 6% or so. So I closed them out here for about break even. A little profit on it. Open up RAM calls. Got 2 RAM calls for October. There was a Wall Street Bets DD on this actually. Kind of interesting. I threw a little bit in there. It's the lowest NAV SPAC float with options. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting write-up actually. So we'll see. We'll see what this one does. The options actually were cheap on it, I think. I don't know. I haven't. Maybe that's because it's after it's being turning into a SPAC, or I don't really know what's going on with it. But yeah, look at the IV. That it's 20%. So I might not be knowing everything here. Oh yeah, the IV is pretty low. So I jumped in. I mean, a lot of open interest on that option chain too. So RAM, and then GME. Opened up a bearish play on GME. Should have done it earlier before CPLIE, but it's okay. It's a 19.25 put debit spread. So good downside exposure on that. If we do come back under the 20s or even the teens, that'll be a few thousand gainer, which would be nice. Yeah, I mean at this point it's too early to tell. It's kind of directionless. It does look like it's just in a range and still confirming the kind of trough that I was talking about. We do still have these technical indicators, those head and shoulders, and then this megaphone giving a price target a little lower. So that one's giving it a between 16 and 19 by the end of this month, which is pretty short. The megaphone's giving it 15 to 18 by kind of the beginning of next month. So these could play out. And I just kind of wanted exposure for that specifically, especially now with the market. Things are looking pretty bearish with those CPLIE numbers. No more bank shorts filled. Still have the ones that we had. Oh, then I haven't actually looked at the margin account. Of course, the cash secured puts aren't doing as well today, but not terrible actually. I noticed GME was moving more with AMC today than anything, but look at that, actually AMC is much more flat. I noticed it earlier on, at least in BBBY. Interesting how those are moving kind of on their own. Yeah, still have our cash secured puts. They're hanging on. They're expiring Friday, so I have a 29 on GME, which I'll probably have to roll down, and then 9.5 on BBBY, which I'll probably have to roll down as well. And oh yeah, on here we've got our IPO. So a lot of IPOs actually became available too, and I'm gonna go heavier into IPOs that have warrants because these warrants are just insane. I can't select how many warrants. I can just select how much I want to invest, and then it'll allocate the warrants. So we did WLDS that IPO today. Thing was up 5,000% on the warrants, but I only got like $4 or $3 worth of warrants because that's all they could give me. And then I got $875 worth of shares. I had to be quick on the trade on this one though. So here's the stock. I've got shares My share cost base is 423. And that's pre-IPO. So 423, and then it opened up at like 470, so it's up like 20%. Halted, went up, halted. This is when I first saw it. Opened up here and halted down immediately. Opened up here. Actually, what's going on here? Oh, that's the 5 minute. Okay. Yeah, halted. And then here, all through here, I was selling. I was making it free. So I made the shares free. Now I've got free shares of WLDS, which is actually, I think they're making wristbands for Apple Watches. I don't have a whole lot because they only gave me $800 some worth. So 29 shares of that. Sold the warrants also. Again, my capital invested on the warrants was like $4, so I didn't have to sell many. I sold like $50 worth of warrants. So I still have, if this stock does go crazy, I still have 314 warrants that I could, I guess, exercise at some point if I wanted. But yeah, this thing, WLDS, what is it? Oh, WLDS, that's the warrants. Okay. This thing's still up 2,700%. And up here it was up, 5,000% or whatever. Our other IPO that I did, BIAFW, the warrants are still up 8,000% since IPO. So basically, with the future IPO, a lot of new IPOs popped up. I'm not doing SPACs, and some are just a secondary offering. For some reason, I guess, yeah, you can get access to them as an IPO on here. It's showing up as that, so I guess that's how that works. Not doing those either. And basically ones with warrants, I'm gonna go in heavier, and then Chinese ones too. So this one has warrants, so approximate shares 106, approximate warrants 1166, and then of course Chinese ones. I think there might still be some a little bit of life left in those Chinese ones. Oh, NXL, I think this one, yeah, this one gives you warrants too. So I have to look at the filing, but this one gives you a lot of warrants. Oh, I guess that's because the share price is going to be higher, maybe. So yeah, that's kind of what I see coming. So far it's worked really well. I think we're 4 for 5 as far as making it free and it end up being a profitable. I mean, I'm just ending up with shares of companies, of random companies, but maybe they'll do well at some point. So account is growing, it's unrealized, but yeah, it's working, I guess. Yeah, I'm down. SPY is so weak coming into close. Here is one of our theta farming accounts. Yeah, the BBYs are down today. And oh yeah, this one I should have shares on TD. And then the margin count's down a bit today too. And SPY is just flushing through everything. So that's what I got for you guys. We will see you on Discord. Peace out.